Tori Petry out here in Mobile, Alabama at the Reese Senior Bowl as part of the Lions' road to the draft. And I'm joined by NFL Network's Bucky Brooks. Bucky, you've been down here on the sidelines providing analysis for NFL Network of the Senior Bowl. I gotta say, that scout cam that you had on earlier was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It doesn't look good. It is more functional, more so than fashionable, but we're trying to make it through this week. But it should be a really exciting deal where we let people kind of get behind the scenes, in between the lines, to see what scouts kind of look at.
Well, he's not wearing it right now, but it was a hat that had a built-in camera that provides us first-person view of what you're looking at. So tell us, what is Bucky Brooks looking at the Senior Bowl this week?
Well, the Senior Bowl is really like the best opportunity to get a chance to really look at some of the top talent that's going to be in the draft. And what you want to see down here is not only like how people move around and what kind of techniques they display when they're asked to do certain things by new coaches, but how do they compete overall? Like when it's the best of the best, you want to see which guys kind of step up and stand out in this environment, because those are the guys that typically are also going to be the stars at the next level. So it's a great opportunity to see a bunch of great players compete, and then you kind of take that information and you go back and marry it up with what you've seen on tape, and then you make decisions off that.
Well, a lot of the top guys in this year's draft are going to be underclassmen, with how many underclassmen have declared for the draft. But we're watching seniors out here this week. So who are some of the best seniors in Mobile this week?
You know, like the crazy thing about like this week, everyone is going to be excited about the quarterbacks, and the quarterbacks deserve to kind of have that kind of scrutiny. So the two quarterbacks that everyone is going to watch, Drew Lock from Missouri, who is an intriguing prospect, who has great size, was an outstanding high school basketball player, which speaks volumes about his athleticism and what he brings to the table. And then you have Daniel Jones, who's coming from Duke. Daniel Jones is a dual-threat quarterback. He has great size. He's 6'5". He can make plays with his legs and with his arm. So everyone are fascinated by those guys. But then when you go and you look at what the strength of this draft is, it continues to kind of show up down here. The offensive line and the defensive line are the guys that people are talking about. And when you go to the D-line, Montez Sweat from Mississippi State is a guy that everyone is buzzing about. Jalen Ferguson, the pass rusher from Louisiana Tech, is another one. And then you got kind of like some blue-collar guys, Zach Allen from Boston College, who can kind of get it done. And so there are a lot of solid players here. I don't know how many like upper echelon first-round players will be here, but there are enough guys that can come right off this field and make contributions next year.
Well, you already talked about those edge rushers, which might be a position group the Lions have an eye on. What are some other position groups you could see the Lions keeping track of in the 2019 draft?
Well, you know, the thing that the Lions have to determine is, like, new offensive coordinator, what is going to be the direction of that offense. Last year took a good running back in Kerryon Johnson. He showed flashes of being a solid player. But then you lose a Golden Tate. You don't know about Marvin Jones and others, like who are going to be the primary receivers. So you need to have some playmakers that can go alongside Kenny Golladay. And I think that has to be a priority, because you want to make it where Matt Stafford feels comfortable doing whatever kind of offense they're doing, and he has enough weapons to be able to do it. And at some point, you want to make sure that he also has someone that can control the middle of the field. The tight end position in this draft is loaded. I mean, so many guys. Hockenstein, you have Noah Fant, you have so many tight ends, Irv Smith from Alabama, so many guys that can make plays over the middle field. I think at some point the Lions have to get someone in the middle to complement what they already have at the other skill positions.
All right, and then you mentioned that wide receiver spot. The Lions traded away Golden Tate. What could you see them doing in the draft to make up for some of the talent that they lost in Golden Tate?
Well, there are a number of intriguing, like, second and third round receivers, big guys that can make plays, and you really have to make a determination on, well, what kind of guy do we want to get to replace him? Like, if we want to go high end with speed and quickness and all those things, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown from Oklahoma is going to be a guy that they talk about. DK Metcalf from Ole Miss is another explosive player. Those guys are more borderline first round talents. But then if you go into the second round and you're looking for guys that can kind of possess the ball and kind of be those chain movers, A.J. Brown could be in that thing, N'Keal Harry could be in that mix. And so there are plenty of pass catchers in the draft. It's really determining what style wide receiver do I want and what value do I want to expand to get it.
Back to the defensive side of the ball, the Lions struggled to find a guy that they settled on to play opposite Darius Slay this year. They played a couple different guys at that spot. Could you see them finding a guy in this draft who might be more of a mainstay opposite of Slay?
Yeah, I mean, look, Darius Slay is one of the top corners in football, and he's going to command a lot of attention, and so a lot of people are going to go opposite him. So they have to determine Who would be the guy that would be the perfect complement over there? There's a DeAndre Baker from Georgia who can make plays and do things, but it's more of a high-end pick. Last week we saw a guy at the East-West Shrine game, a Jimmy Moreland, who is also here, who can make plays. And there are a number of guys that can come and make contributions. It's really a matter of the Lions determining what style they want to play and then finding guys that can kind of fit that style.
Well, Bucky, we always appreciate your insight. Thanks for joining us here at the Senior Bowl this week.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
And we'll be keeping track of that scout cam as the week continues.
No pitches, no pitches.
That's Bucky Brooks for DetroitLions.com. I'm Tori Petry.